Presentation skills are essential both in terms of education and work. Effective presentation skills help you successfully share your thoughts and ideas with other people. If you're working towards GCSEs, it's likely that you'll be asked to make a variety of presentations across different subjects. And you'll definitely have to deliver a prepared spoken presentation on a specific topic for your GCSE English language exam. If you're completing English Functional Skills Level 2, you'll also have to make a presentation. Hello, Helen here. Today we're going to look at how you can deliver an excellent presentation every time. We've all sat through dull presentations. Maybe we just don't understand what the presenter's talking about. Maybe the content is presented in a boring way. Maybe the visual aids are confusing or too small. The outcome will always be the same. Our minds will drift off into a daydream, nothing will be learnt, and the time will be wasted. When you're tasked with making a presentation, it's a good idea to think about the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, perform. We're going to go through the 3 Ps over the course of the next 5 minutes, and then afterwards there are some ideas you can use to make your own presentations. So let's start with prepare. Making an effective presentation starts with planning the content. The subject matter needs to be something you can confidently speak about. So if you're making a presentation on Lady Macbeth's role in her husband's downfall, you'll need to have a wide-ranging knowledge of the part she plays. Right from the start of the play, when she first shows her burning ambition to be queen, to the end, when her death causes Macbeth to ponder one last time of the nature of time and mortality in his tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow speech. Similarly, if you're giving a talk on kayaking, you may want to cover the history of the activity, the equipment needed, tips and tricks, places to go to kayak, and describe some of your own experiences. So whatever your presentation topic, it is very likely you'll need to undertake some research in advance. Your preparation can be divided into subsections. Firstly, take an overview. Think carefully about what the task is and its purpose. For instance, what do you want to have achieved by the end of the presentation? Who is your audience? And what do they want to gain from the presentation? And lastly, what is the topic? So if your presentation is for GCSE English, it'll be useful to know the assessment criteria as part of your purpose is to gain the highest mark possible. There are some examples of assessment criteria in the notes that follow this video. The next step in your preparation is to generate ideas. On a plain sheet of paper, produce some initial notes. What's interesting about the topic? What does your audience know about the topic? And what will they be interested in finding out? How can you present this topic in the most interesting way? Write down everything you think of. Don't worry if some of your ideas are a bit silly. Often the silly ideas can turn into something really amazing. Now you're ready to conduct your research. At this stage, you probably need to gather more information about your topic. Where will you find that information? Maybe the internet, maybe the library. You may need to talk to a teacher or contact someone else who is an expert in your topic, your kayaking instructor maybe. The next stage is your detailed plan or script. Here you will decide what the structure of the presentation will look like. You'll need to highlight what the main points are. Think about how much time you have. This will help you decide how much time to spend on each point. Think about how you start and finish. This is important. You need to engage your audience from the start, and you need to leave them with some valuable learning points at the end. It may be useful at this stage to produce a detailed script, especially if the presentation is for an assessment, as it will be useful for your teacher assessor to have. Write on every other line, as this will give you space to add in additional notes or even delivery tips. I'll talk some more about this shortly. Once you have your script, go through it carefully. Is there information that is best communicated visually? So, for example, would it be helpful to have PowerPoint slides? In the Lady Macbeth presentation, would it be useful to have key quotations on slides? In the kayaking talk, would images of the mussels used in the activity be of interest? Are there any other resources you could use to engage your audience? Feeling the weight of a real kayaking paddle may bring the activity alive. A true-false quiz on Lady Macbeth would enable your audience to test their own knowledge. Preparation for any presentation is absolutely essential. The more presentations you prepare, the better you will get. And remember, this is a skill which is a key for school, college, university, and work. So it's worth the time investment. You'll remember the second P was practice. With all the time spent on preparation, it's important not to forget your own part in this presentation. Have a practice run through, or 2, or 3, or 4. There's nothing like reading it out loud to ensure your words make sense and sound interesting. Use a timer to make sure you stay within the time limits. And if possible, practice in front of an audience. This way, you will be able to get feedback on your delivery and ideas for improvement. It's at this stage you'll want to add useful tips to your script about pace, emphasis, tone, pauses, all of which will make your presentation even better. Now you're ready to transfer your presentation to cue cards. Use office-style index or note cards if you can get them, and divide your presentation in note form across 5 to 10 cards. If you can't get hold of cue cards, use paper cut to size, 5 inches by 3 inches, or 12.5 centimetres by 8 centimetres approximately. Once you have transferred the information in note form to the cards, punch a hole in the top left corner and fasten them together with a treasury tag. This means, in the worst case scenario, you drop your cue cards and they'll all stay in order. Then practice again with your cue cards. The final P was perform. Your presentation is a performance, and one you'll have prepped for in the same way as any really good actor. Think about your body language. There are some tips and activities in the pages that follow. And make your presentation open and friendly, and one where the audience feel involved and engaged. Go on, your presentation is going to be fantastic. One last thing, and it's an F, not a P. Ask for feedback from your teacher, the assessor, your audience. Feedback helps us improve and ensures the next time will be even better.